Frank told me that I would like.
Is it
Friday.
Brad Paisley?
That's all I know.
Last thing I heard.
And then I heard that.
But you're on like saying
That's who I figured.
Everybody got
Then someone, they said,
Yeah, I don't do good on votes. If it's a cruise ship, I'm okay. I was worried.
I hadn't heard.
I thought maybe this was something I was.
Good,
But you're, they pick up everything just in case anybody's listening. So you can write it, but you can't say it.
I think Thursday night.
Good evening and welcome to the April 1st business meeting of the Kingsport Board of Mayor and Aldermen. I'm calling this meeting to order, and I'm going to ask Pastor Lisa Bryant from Kingsley and Glen Alpine United Methodist Church come and lead us in the pledge and the invocation, please. Let's all stand.
Join with me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Mayor. I wanted to remind us of Moses in the wilderness leading God's people, and in Exodus chapter 33, he talks to God and he says, "Now if I have found favor in your sight, show me your ways, so that I may know you and find favor in your sight. Consider too that this nation is your people. Consider too, God, that this community, this city of Kingsport is filled with your people." And the Lord answers Moses, "I will do the very thing that you have asked, for you have found favor in my sight, and I know you by name." So let us pray. Gracious God, you have called these leaders here together. You know them by name. They have found favor in your sight, as have the people of Kingsport. Lord, we are your children, your people, your beloveds. Lord, we ask that you guide these leaders tonight. Guide them to have the love for your people that you have, to make decisions based on that love for each and every citizen of this community. Lord, guide their hearts that they may know your will, that your presence will be with them here tonight, and that all of the decisions made here tonight will be to your glory. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Pastor Bryant. Mr. Recorder, please take the roll.
Mayor Montgomery,
Here.
Vice Mayor Duncan,
Here.
Alderman Baker,
Here.
Alderman Cooper,
here,
Alderman George,
here.
Alderman Mays,
Here.
Alderman Phillips.
Here.
Okay, thank you. We have a quorum and all 7 members are present. Thank you. Mr. City Manager.
All right, we have one proclamation tonight. That is for Donate Life Month. And I'd ask Nick Shepard with Tennessee Donor Services to please join Mayor Montgomery at the podium.
Thank you, sir, for joining me here tonight. This is a proclamation for the month of April. The City of Kingsport Proclamation. Whereas Tennessee Donor Services is a Donate Life agency and a nonprofit organization dedicated to saving and improving lives through organ, eye, and tissue donation throughout Tennessee, and is one of 57 organ procurement organizations throughout the nation. And whereas each donor hero can give the gift of life to 8 people, and each tissue donor can improve another 75 lives. And whereas more than 100,000 American men, women, and children, 3,000 of whom are Tennesseans, are waiting for life-saving organ transplants. And whereas the most effective way to address this health crisis is to educate and encourage Tennesseans to commit to registering their decision to be an organ, eye, and tissue donor in Donate Life Tennessee Registry. DonateLifeTennessee.org or their local driver services center, and whereas Kingsport supports saving lives through organ, eye, and tissue donation, and finds the cause worth drawing attention to. Now, therefore, I, Paul W. Montgomery, Mayor of the City of Kingsport, and on behalf of the Board of Mayor and Aldermen of the City of Kingsport, do hereby proclaim April 2025 as Donate Life Month in the City of Kingsport, and encourages all citizens to register their decision to be donors in the Donate Life Registry at donatelifetennessee.org or their local driver services center. I hereby set my hand and cause the seal of the City of Kingsport, Tennessee, to be fixed this first day of April in the year of our Lord, 2025. Paul W. Montgomery. Mr. Shepherd, you want to say a word or
Yes,
two?
thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
You have podium.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Alderman. I greatly appreciate this. I'm very grateful. This is the first time in the 3 years I've been here that Kingsport has done a proclamation for us. And so I'm thankful that we have all three of the Tri-Cities doing proclamations for us this year. Bristol had one at 6 tonight, and Johnson City will be Thursday, so get them all the way this week. But, you know, there was a donor here. His name was Adam Lively. He passed away from a car wreck. He went to Dobbins Bennett High School, and his father, David, has spoken to many schools around the area. And, you know, we remember Adam, we thank Dave, and Adam was able to save 5 lives through his gift. So when you're out talking to your neighbors, talking to your constituents, I would encourage you just to talk about organ donation, the good that it does for people. And like I said, there's 3,000 Tennesseans waiting on a transplant, 100,000 people waiting across the country. More than 20 people die every day without getting the transplant. So the more people we're able to get registered, the higher chances we have of helping people. Thank you guys for all that you do. I know that you're servants, and you know, I'm just grateful and thankful to Kingsport. So thank you guys. Have a wonderful meeting.
Thank you. Thank you very much. This is a portion of our meeting where we have public comment. Citizens may come and speak on the agenda item or any issue-oriented item. When you come to the podium, please state your name, address, and sign the register that is provided. We also ask that you please keep your comments non-personal in nature. And if you do decide to come, don't be alarmed if we do not respond to you. We're glad to talk to you before the meeting, after the meeting, or any time after the days from here. Does anyone want to come and speak? Thank you very much. Mr. City Manager.
All right, we have 2 appointments on the agenda. We'll take these as one motion. The first item is appointments to the Kingsport Public Library. It's recommended to appoint Earl Carter and Trey Darnell to fulfill the unexpired terms. And then also for Bays Mountain Park, it is recommended to appoint Alan Hobbs to fulfill an unexpired term on the Bays Mountain Park Commission. We'd ask that you approve the appointments for both of these organizations. Mayor?
Thank you. I have a motion for approval.
So moved.
Motion for approval by Alderman Hooper. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman George. Any discussion?
Both these commissions are in the middle of some very exciting things happening, so these.
They really are, yeah.
Yeah, so those, the new, people on board are gonna have a fun time with all the expansions and the things that are going on in the library and Bays Mountain.
Really good people, too. We appreciate them serving.
Any other discussion or comment?
We still have 1 vacancy on the Library Commission.
No, we're full.
It is full.
Okay. Okay, all in favor of the appointments, say aye. Aye. Opposed, like sign. Appointments are made, 7-0. Mr. City Manager.
All right, now move into the approval of minutes, the work session on March 17th, 2025, and the business meeting on March 18th, 2025. Ask that you approve these minutes as submitted, please.
You have before you you read the minutes by now, and any corrections? If not, may I have a motion for approval.
So moved.
Motion for approval, Vice Mayor Duncan. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Mays. All in favor of approving the minutes, say aye. Aye. Opposed, like sign. Minutes are approved. Mr. City Manager.
All right, first item on the agenda is consideration of a budget ordinance for various funds in fiscal '25. You can see within your item there a summary of the various different items that are being addressed through this budget ordinance. The first two are cleanup ordinances, one with transit, the other with fire. And then also you see down there, the last one, reallocation of dollars for some upcoming sewer line work, water line work, I should say, on Memorial Boulevard. We'd ask that you approve this budget ordinance on first reading, please.
Thank you. Mr. Attorney, please publish.
An ordinance to amend various fund budgets for the year ending June 30th, 2024, and to fix the effective date of this ordinance.
You've heard the reading of the ordinance. May I have a motion for approval?
So moved.
Second.
Motion for approval by Vice Mayor Duncan and second by Alderman George. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor of the ordinance, say aye. Aye. Opposed, like sign. Ordinance passes 7-0. The city manager.
All right, now move into business matters requiring final adoption. You have three of those items. The first item is consideration of budget ordinance for various funds in fiscal '25. This is coming through the City of Kingsport Budget Office, and we'd ask that you approve this budget ordinance on second and final reading, please.
Thank you. Mr. Attorney, please publish.
An ordinance to amend various fund budgets for the year ending June 30th, 2025, and to fix the effective date of this ordinance.
You've heard the reading of the ordinance. May I have a motion for approval?
So moved.
Motion for approval by Alderman George. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Phillips. Any discussion? Mr. Recorder, please take the roll call, please.
Alderman Baker.
Aye.
Alderman Cooper.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Duncan.
Aye.
Alderman George.
Aye.
Alderman Mays.
Aye.
Alderman Phillips.
Aye.
Mayor Montgomery.
Aye. The ordinance is approved, 7-0. Mr. City Manager.
Next item is a consideration of an ordinance to condemn certain public works projects. This item's come to you on second and final reading. We'd ask that you approve the ordinance, please.
Thank you. Mr. Attorney, please publish.
An ordinance to authorize and direct the city attorney to initiate condemnation proceedings to acquire property, real or personal, or any easement, interest, estate, or use therein from affected property owners along the route of certain public works projects, and to fix the procedure for directing the initiation of such litigation, and to fix the effective date of this ordinance.
You've heard reading of the ordinance. May I have a motion for approval?
So moved.
Motion for approval made by Vice Mayor Duncan. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Baker. Any discussion? Mr. Recorder, please have a roll call vote, please.
Alderman Baker.
Aye.
Alderman Cooper.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Duncan.
Aye.
Alderman George.
Aye.
Alderman Mays.
Aye.
Alderman Phillips.
Aye.
Mayor Montgomery.
Aye. Ordinance passes 7-0. Mr. City Manager.
Next item is consideration of an ordinance to amend the fiscal '25 General Purpose School Fund and General Project Fund budget. This comes to us from the Board of Education. We'd ask that you approve this ordinance on second and final reading, please.
Thank you. Mr. Attorney, please publish.
An ordinance to amend the General Purpose School Fund budget and the General Projects Fund budget for the fiscal year ending June 30th, 2025, and to fix the effective date of this ordinance.
Thank you. May I have a motion for approval?
So moved.
Motion for approval by Alderman Baker. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Cooper. Any discussion? Seeing none, Mr. Recorder, please call roll vote, please.
Alderman Baker.
Aye.
Alderman Cooper.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Duncan.
Aye.
Alderman George.
Aye.
Alderman Mays.
Aye.
Alderman Phillips.
Aye.
Mayor Montgomery.
Aye. Ordinance passes 7-0. Mr. City Manager.
All right, moving now into other business. First item is consideration of a resolution authorizing the mayor to execute all documents necessary to apply and accept the Section 5307 TDOT capital grant matching contract for preventative maintenance. As you see there in the summary, what we're actually approving here is the TDOT portion in the amount of $28,000 towards the total grant. As you know, as you see throughout the course of the year, we have several state, federal grants that help fund our transit administration. Oftentimes, whether it's capital or operating, the overwhelming majority of those funds come from state or federal dollars, typically no more than 25 or 20% local match. In some instances such as this, you're looking at an 80-10-10. all of which is necessary to operate transit service and what we see occur throughout the country, really. So approval of this resolution allocates the state match in the amount of $28,000. Mayor, we'd ask that you approve the resolution, please.
Thank you. Mr. Attorney, please publish.
A resolution authorizing the mayor to execute an agreement with the Tennessee Department of Transportation to accept matching Section 5307 capital grant funds and all other documents necessary and proper to effectuate the purpose of this resolution.
Thank you. You've heard the reading of the resolution. May I have a motion for approval?
So moved.
Motion for approval, Vice Mayor Duncan. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Phillips. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor of the resolution say aye. Aye. Opposed, like sign. Resolution passes 7-0. City Manager.
Next item is consideration of a resolution to issue a blanket order to Napa Auto Parts for various vehicle and equipment parts utilizing the Sourcewell contracts. We, through a source of a variety of contracts, will purchase various supplies for our fleet maintenance division. Napa is one of those. We have reached the point where we are going to exceed the $50,000 limit that we have before it has to come to this board for approval. This will establish a contract and allow us to purchase on an as-needed basis. We'd like to ask that you all approve the resolution allowing us to enter into this contract with Napa. Mayor?
Thank you. Mr. Attorney, please publish.
A resolution authorizing the city manager to execute a purchase order to Napa Auto Parts utilizing Sourcewell Cooperative Purchasing Agreement for various vehicle and equipment parts for fleet maintenance.
Thank you. You've heard the reading of the resolution. I have a motion for approval.
So moved.
Motion for approval by Alderman Baker. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Phillips. Any discussion? Seeing none. All in favor of the resolution, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Resolution passes 7-0. Ms. City Manager.
Next item is consideration of a resolution renewing the award of bid for school crossing guard services and authorizing the mayor to sign all applicable documents and to ratify the mayor's signature on the consent assignment agreement. As you know, for some time now, we have gone with a third party to provide school crossing guards. CrossSafe was recently acquired by All City Management Services, so it's necessary for us to issue a contract with them. That has been done, and thus you're being asked to ratify the mayor's signature. They also requested that a consumer price index of 2.96% in order to give their staff a cost of living pay increase. That has been accounted for. And so through this, we'd ask that you ratify the mayor's signature and then also renew the contract for an additional year. The funding is available within the police department budget. Mayor, with that, we'd ask that you approve this resolution, please.
Thank you. Mr. Attorney, please publish.
A resolution renewing the award of bid for school crossing guards to All City Management Services Incorporated, formerly known as CrossSafe, ratifying the mayor's signatures of a consent assignment agreement and authorizing the mayor to sign an agreement for the same and all documents necessary and proper to effectuate the purpose of the agreement.
You've heard the reading of the resolution. May I have a motion for approval?
So moved.
Motion for approval by Vice Mayor Duncan. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Baker. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor of the resolution, say aye. Aye. Opposed, like sign. Resolution passes 7-0. Ms. City Manager.
Next item is consideration of a resolution to apply for and participate in a regional digitization hub project by the Tennessee State Library and Archives. You see at the bottom of the executive summary what this will be used for. 37 bound volumes of the Tennessee Eastman Corporation newsletter. This comes at no cost to the city of Kingsport. We're very gracious for this opportunity to get some very historic documents digitized. Mayor, with that, we'd ask you to approve the resolution, please.
Thank you. Mr. Attorney, please publish.
A resolution authorizing the mayor to execute all documents necessary and proper to apply for and participate in a regional digitization hub project by the Tennessee State Library and Archives.
You've heard the reading of the resolution. May I have a motion for approval?
So moved.
Motion for approval by Alderman Phillips. Sir, second.
Second.
Second by Alderman George. Any discussion? Comment? Hearing none. All in favor of the resolution, say aye. Aye. Opposed, like sign. Resolution passes 7-0. Ms. City Manager.
Next item is consideration of a resolution ratifying the mayor's signature to apply for and receive funds for the 2026 Training Opportunities for the Public, or TOP grant. As you see in the executive summary, this will allow us to purchase an additional 6 Wi-Fi hotspots, as well as the necessary device and a year of accompanying device cases and a year of service. There is a 20% match, and that'll be coming through the Kingsport Public Library's operating budget. These hotspots have proven to be very valuable, especially for those who are in need of the internet service. And so we're thankful again to be able to get some assistance with this through this grant. We'd ask that you approve the resolution authorizing us to proceed.
Thank you. Mr. Attorney, please publish.
A resolution to ratify the mayor's signature on all documents necessary and proper to apply for and receive the 2026 training opportunities for the public grant for the Kingsport Public Library.
You've heard the reading of the resolution. May I have a motion for approval?
So moved.
Motion for approval by Alderman George. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Cooper. Any discussion?
This isn't about this, but the library, when is the, I guess Michael could answer, when is the move gonna take place? How long?
Take an intermission while he walks up here.
You can just yell from the background.
Looks good enough.
So we currently, thank you, Vice Mayor
That's why I wanted to
Duncan.
come up here.
We currently have the bid out for the actual move to the mall, and so we've kind of worked through that process. So we'll have that bid opening here in the first part of this month. From then, we'll get a timeline from the bidders on when we will anticipate moving, along with a timeline. We were able to work with the local companies to come up with some storage solutions for some materials that we didn't want to have at the mall, and so we kind of got that handled. And so we're looking forward to some competitive bid opening. And then as far as the actual library construction goes, we did get our grant contract back for the $2 million grant we got through the Connected Community Facilities Grant last week. So we're working through some of the grant requirements, and hopefully we'll be ready to go out to bid here in just a couple weeks.
So are you still thinking like, after you open the bids, 6 weeks or a month, I mean, will be like this summer that'll be heading that direction? Or the move?
So I'm not a moving company, but if I had to kind of guess, is once kids start getting out of college and you kind of have that season where, and I'm not a real estate agent either, but I'm assuming people like to move once, you get out of school and things like that for the summer season.
We like people to move all the time.
I know that every 365 days a year, but we anticipate, hopefully we can get in before what we anticipate being their peak season with the two companies that we've talked to. So the short answer is hopefully sometime in May or early June.
Michael, how long will the library be closed?
So that really depends on how it works with the movers. So the more restrictions we put on the bid process, they're going to pass those costs on to us. And so we really tried to kind of limit the restrictions on them. But the goal would be that we're closed for between 2 and 3 weeks. So once we get those bids open, we already have kind of a communication plan in the pipeline. We'll be able to push that out. And then we also, we released some new digital streaming services last month, Canopy, which has been very well received. We've seen new library card holders come from that. And so we're going to kind of push our digital services during that time, as well as encourage folks to come check out as many books as pretty much as they desire. And we won't have a due date until we get reestablished back in the mall.
Is your space in the mall ready?
It will be ready the first week of May. So the anticipated completion date for that's the first week of May. Construction's coming along very well. I was on site there probably about 10 days ago, about 2 weeks, 10 days. And it's coming along very well. It's looking very good. It's very different from what it was when we first looked at it. So we're very excited for that product.
Any other comment, discussion?
Excited to see the library at the mall. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. All in favor of the resolution, say aye. Aye. Opposed, like sign. Resolution passes 7-0. The city manager.
Next item is consideration of resolution to purchase 2 2025 Alamo Trax remote control mowers utilizing the Sourcewell Cooperative Purchasing Agreement. One of these is a fleet replacement vehicle for our grounds maintenance, and then the other one is going to Kingsport City Schools. Seeing the recommendation memo here, that's where this is used on these slopes along our right-of-way, and then kind of a picture of the remote control mower. Very.
These things are cool.
Yes, they are. It is a very
Amazing what they can
handy
do.
piece of equipment that has helped us tremendously in maintaining our right-of-way, so.
Much safer too,
Much,
all that.
yeah, much safer.
Will the city rent these?
No.
I was joking.
You got a slope you need mowed?
My backyard.
You get you a rope, put it on the handle of that push mower. you'll
I
be
bet
good
we
to
don't
go.
get to try them out either. They won't let us play with them.
Okay.
Mr. Attorney, please publish.
A resolution authorizing the city manager to execute a purchase order to West Hills Tractor utilizing a Sourcewell Cooperative Purchase Agreement for two 2025 Alamo Trax remote control mowers for use by grounds maintenance in schools.
You've heard reading of the resolution. May I have a motion for approval?
So moved.
Motion for approval, Alderman George, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Baker. Any discussion? Any other discussion?
We can discuss.
Chris, on the Sourcewell contracts, is that a cost savings to the city because we do use those? Any idea how much that, a percentage that typically the savings is?
No, I don't have a general percentage, but, you think about the amount of time that would be required to put a bid document together. Typically, that's, as you know, done by city staff, preparing that, getting those bids, receiving those bids in, going through that, then evaluating the bids and making recommendations. So by going to the cooperative, we've eliminated a lot of the process. We're also not having to advertise these bids in the newspaper. And then we have various other tools available to us through these agencies to be able to really go in and look at the type of equipment we're buying, even to the point of being able to make some adjustments to it. Most recently, we were able to purchase a fire truck through Sourcewell, and I heard nothing but praise and comments from the team that worked on it with Fleet of how easy that was, and through the use of the technology, what that allowed them to do. And so this is truly, in all aspects of what we've done, has been a major efficiency. Attaching a dollar to it probably take a little bit of work, but from a timing standpoint, it's big. We're still bidding stuff out, still advertising, opening. You'll see that on our website regularly, but for a lot of the day-to-day operations, the cooperative bids have been huge.
So we save efficiencies in-house, resources, plus the price, we get government contract price on
Yeah.
it, so it's a good deal for the city.
It sure is.
Yeah.
Any other discussion? Hearing none. All in favor of the resolution, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Resolution passes 7-0. Mr. City Manager.
All right, we move into the consent agenda. We have two items. I'll read through those. If you'd like either one pulled for additional discussion, please let me know. The first is consideration to approve the issuance of certificates of compliance for a retail food store to sell wine. Second item is consideration of a resolution to approve the opt-in agreement with Anderson County Schools and United Data Technologies and to ratify the mayor's execution of the same. Mayor?
Okay, you have the items before you. May I have a motion for approval?
Mayor, I would like to have the first item pulled for a separate consideration. In other words, we vote on these separate.
Okay. Any opposition to that? Okay. Let's, City Manager.
All right, this is a consideration to approve the issuance of certificate of compliance for a retail food store to sell wine. You see the addresses listed there below along with the executive summary. Be happy to answer any questions.
Okay. All in favor, no, excuse me, do I have a motion for approval?
So moved.
Motion for approval by Alderman George, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Cooper. Any discussion now?
Mayor, I'd like to take a moment and explain why I'll be voting no on this item. And I want to begin by saying I understand that we have currently around 40 convenience stores / gas stations that are selling wine legally in our city. This is not about being for or against wine sales per se. My concern lies with the process that we're using and whether it truly serves the community's interest. As it currently stands, our role as the Board of Mayor and Alderman is limited to verifying if the applicant has not had a felony in the last 10 years and that they meet the local zoning laws, both requirements outlined by the Tennessee Alcohol Beverage Commission. In essence, we are just a pass-through in the process of rubber stamping something that's determined at the state level. That's it. And in my view, that's not governance. That's paperwork. As elected officials, we were chosen by the people of the city to exercise leadership through thoughtful judgment, to weigh community impact, and to uphold the standards and values that matter locally. If our only role in this process is to verify a couple of checkboxes, then either the state should be handling this process entirely, or we should be given greater authority to ensure these decisions reflect our community needs and expectations. So until the process is revisited and improved, I can in good conscience vote for the item. I think we owe it to our citizens to do more than just check boxes. Thank you.
Any other comments, discussion?
So I just want to make sure, I hear what my colleague Alderman Baker is saying, but this is Tennessee Code annotated, correct? So to change policy or to anything like that requires legislative action, correct?
Correct, yeah, this would have to be addressed at a state level, change the process.
Right. Okay.
And if the rules are, if they meet the two requirements, I don't know how you could vote against it if it's state law. I mean, why are these can't do it while we have others that can, and they all meet the same requirements?
First one I voted on.
Any other comments?
I've been through both of these. I didn't say much last night about it because our hands are tied essentially in my mind. I mean, I've used to run a beer and wine festival, and your point is well taken that yes, the state should do it, but they don't, and that's very frustrating because when I would apply for a beer permit, I go through the city, and when you apply a wine permit, you have to go through the state, and it is just it's red tape. That's all it is. But my concern with voting against it is if we turned it down, then it opens us up to a lawsuit. So I would I'm for it, but I understand what you're saying. It's red tape that the state has pushed down so that to take work off of their plate, and somebody that's dealt with the state alcohol board before, I'm not surprised.
I mean,
But
the
if we-
expectations is, I think, is we're not the one that keeps it in compliance. The laws are set, so that's the check factor of this. I mean, what they do in between is not really the expectations of this.
So a question I've got, if we were under home rule, would this be a different conversation? Could this be a different conversation?
I'd have to do some research on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's several differences between private act and home
Sure,
rule, so that would require some research.
Right.
I think there's several things that, to me, if all of this was only at the state, I mean, the things that we do can be checked locally fairly simple, and where we're representing these businesses and trying to make it as efficient as possible. As Mr. Phillips said, when you have to go through the different ones, you're adding more red tape. We didn't do our 2 steps and waited on the state to do it. I mean, the local businesses might even have more delay if the state had to take care of this. And to me, anything we can do to help small business do what they want to do and move their needs forward that are complying with state regulation is what, I want to help our business owners, and I want to make their life shorter and easier. And every time I have to deal with the state on an issue with my company, or when we deal with them here, Main Street took 13 years. So, if our business, if our small business people, if this delayed them 6 months to be able to do this, it's like when restaurants have to wait to get open and can't get a liquor license or can't do this. So, I'm for helping our businesses, and if that means that I rubber stamp something, so they don't have to wait 6 months to get it done at the state,
Right.
I'm all about it.
I understand that. I would make the argument we could even make it easier by having the beverage board to govern the wine sales in Kingsport. So for me, it's
That's-
just simply a process issue that if the state, this is something the state could take on and it would free up resources for us, or we could have more control over it and have it be a local, beverage board. So that's my opinion.
And I said, you can take that up to state reps and see what they want to do, but
Sure.
I'm good to vote tonight.
Okay. Any other discussion, comment? Hearing none. Mr. Recorder, please take the roll.
Alderman Baker.
No.
Alderman Cooper.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Duncan.
Aye.
Alderman George.
Aye.
Alderman Mays.
Aye.
Alderman Phillips.
Aye.
Mayor Montgomery.
Aye. The item passes 6 to 1-0.
We have one item left on the consent.
Okay, can I have a motion for approval?
So moved.
Motion for approval by Alderman Cooper, second by Vice Mayor Duncan. Any discussion? Okay, likewise, Mr. Recorder, please call the roll.
Alderman Baker.
Aye.
Alderman Cooper.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Duncan.
Aye.
Alderman George.
Aye.
Alderman Mays.
Aye.
Alderman Phillips.
Aye.
Mayor Montgomery.
Aye. Item passes 7-0. Ms. City Manager.
All right, move into the communication phase. Last night, we had a really good presentation. Megan Krager, Brian Kearns regarding upcoming controlled burn at Bays Mountain. I will tell you, a little over a year ago, when this item was presented to me, it probably, the look on my face described it all. I was a little concerned as to what might be happening and how we were going to manage this and all parts in between. Over the course of the last year, the staff has done an outstanding job of putting together a solid plan, been approved by the state, and it has, as a result of Hurricane Helene, the realization that we need to do this in order to protect a very, very precious piece of property in Bays Mountain Park for the citizens of our region to continue to enjoy is a necessity. And so weather permitting, April 7th, 8th, and 9th, we will begin work on approximately 7 acres of that with a controlled burn, state officials on hand, our fire department in a backup role. And one of the things, though, that is going to be very unique about this is that there's going to be an opportunity for future firefighters through the Dobbins-Bennett-Pulaski Club to be able to be part of that. And that is something that's very unique for our region. There are other programs, but this is a unique one in terms of what their focus area is. Outstanding job by Brian Kearns and the work that he's done with that group. And we're really looking forward to the results of this, and this will be something that we'll probably be talking to you all about on an annual basis as we move through this, the need to just protect and take care of this area. So again, tip my hat to them, professionalism at the park and all the work that they've done in coordination with the state to make that happen. Also, tip my hat to Stephen Bauer, our Economic Development Director. Stephen has been working in that role for probably about a year now. And prior to that, he was kind of an economic analyst for us. He's done a great job in many, many ways. Saw today where he led Economic Development Board through a redevelopment grant opportunity for some properties on Main Street. When we started the Main Street project, one of the things that we hoped to see was revitalization of those properties. And boy, have we seen that and more to come. This was a great opportunity to restore some old buildings that are definitely in need of some attention. But just greatly appreciate the work that Stephen has been able to do, as well as the Economic Development Board. That is a vital partner of ours. They work with us on a variety of things. They work with the state in terms of trying to secure grants or bonds for organizations, corporations within our city. So we appreciate the work that they do. And last but not least, it's It's spring, it's April 1st, we're seeing the trees green up, and I just want to tip my hat to the public works crews, our contractors who've been out spreading mulch, getting everything ready for the spring. If you drive into the city coming down Wilcox, it looks absolutely beautiful. Drive through downtown, you look at the roundabouts and landscaping that's there. We show very well, and I often have a lot of people come in from out of town, and one of the first things they say, and most often if they are in the city government line of work, man, how good does your town look? How clean is it? How clean are the curb and gutters? And we see these things every day, and sometimes we may not see that. We may look over it, but those who are in this business look at that very closely, and they're always walking away very impressed with the amount of pride that we take. And that is reflective of who we are as a city. That is reflective in all aspects of what we do, whether it's the little things or the big things. It's what do we do in terms of the pride that we take. Just as we recognize our homeowners when they do the beautification awards in the summer and the amount of pride they take, that same pride is reflected in all of our public properties as well. So hats off to those guys. Mayor?
Thank you. Alderman Phillips.
Oh, okay. Threw me off there. I'll I don't have much. All I was just gonna say was, I just appreciate, Brian Kearns being here last night. I actually went through the Citizens Fire Academy with Brian when he was, getting all his training, and his presentation last night, you can see why he was the State of Tennessee Teacher of the Year last year, because, I mean, all of us were just sitting there wide-eyed listening to his presentation. So he's just a great mentor for our students, and just appreciate his knowledge on this subject, and so just enjoyed it last night. That's all I got.
Thank you.
He does. He has an amazing passion, and so.
Okay. Alderman Baker?
Just two things. I've been reading the paper where we've got neighbors who have ponied up to the airport for the new airline to possibly come in, and I think it's great. I'm hoping we're inching closer to the goal that needs to be done, so appreciate the effort around that. Second, I want to applaud staff. Last night we heard two other presentations about paving and roads, and I am thankful that we're looking at ways to put more money into paving. I know when I ran conversations I had in neighborhoods, that was probably one of the top two issues, is how can we get more roads paved. So kudos, Chris, and the staff are looking at how we can infuse more money into paving. That's all I've got.
Alderman George?
Me now, okay. I did want to say, I said I'd already heard the presentation on the burn, and so I got to hear it a second time. But I did have a citizen come up to me, and they said, "Now, the Bays Mountain burn, was that the April Fool's thing in the paper?" And I said, "No, we're really doing it, and it's the coolest thing ever," which I know I'm not supposed to say that's super cool, but it really is. But they actually thought that was our April Fool's Day joke. The Fun Fest concert announcement is going to be tomorrow. And from my understanding, everybody is going to be thrilled. I mean, not everybody. You'll have to have some people complain. But a lot of the people that are great people are all going to be excited about this.
Do you have some names for us? Say that here?
What? Do I have any? I'm not giving any. I'm not allowed to say anything else.
3 people on YouTube they'll know like that.
Just immediately, yeah. So, but it is, the announcement is tomorrow. They're doing that at the daytime Tri-Cities is when they're making it. We have the men's volleyball championship in town April 17th through 19th. And we also have a Dog Association National Specialty Show, which I'm not sure all dogs are special, but that's April 19th through 26th at Meadowview. So we have those things coming up, and we do have, as Betsy mentioned earlier, we do have a lot of great things going on at Bays Mountain. The park, the playground is under works and should be, they probably tell me not to say it's going to be complete until June, but it hopefully will be a little bit before that, but it is really going well and exciting. And we're getting ready to start a lot of other great things now that we've got the big grant. And I was really excited that on the Blue Cross Blue Shield park that we're getting right on Netherland Inn Road, they get a bobcat over there, they start fencing it off, and I'm excited because it's moving forward. So I was all good.
Alderman Cooper?
Not much, just Lamplight Theater is having their Easter play, Son of Sorrow, and it's about Jesus' family, kind of a different take on the Easter story. So those are always very nice to go to this time of year. And also the loft tour for downtown Kingsport is April the 12th. So if you want to go to some of the unique lofts that we have in downtown, I said it's amazing when you really go look how many residents are moving to our downtown and how many lofts are being, places are being renovated right now to have people living in our downtown. So that's April the 12th, and you can go to the DKA website and get some more information about some of the things that are happening in our downtown.
Alderman Mays.
Thank you, Mayor. I would like to thank Mayor Montgomery and this board for recognizing organ donation proclamation tonight. I have a personal testimony. My mother was a liver transplant recipient many years ago at Vanderbilt, and so that is a very long surgery. So I witnessed what there were many other families in surgery waiting, waiting on their loved ones to receive a transplant. So we were able to witness what an impact it has on families. And it was an amazing experience that I'll never forget. And of course, it extended my mother's life 20 years. And so organ donation is very impactful. It's one of the most loving things that anyone can do. But the time to talk about organ donation is really not in haste or during an emergency or during a crisis. The time to talk about organ donation is with your family, and do your own research, do exploration, do prayer, and make a decision way ahead of time and not leave your loved ones making that decision in haste or in a crisis moment. So thank you, Mayor Montgomery and this board for doing that and giving that recognition. It's much deserved. Thank you.
Vice Mayor Duncan.
Just a couple items. This Saturday is Martin Luther King Day Parade. That starts at noon at the corner of Sullivan and Center. So I hope people can come out for that. And then we have got so many businesses that has opened up downtown in the heart of our city just this year since January. And I'm going to go through these. And as the city manager alludes to, each week or each time we meet, I mean, we have so much positive stuff that goes on that most cities would just die for. But we have these businesses just since 2025, this year: Uptown Cheesecake Company, Galaxy Pizza, Old Crow Tavern, J. Matt's Cigar, Wagyu Dog, The Vanity Room, Sneaks and Geeks, Golden Kong, Boops and Beans, Cat Cafe. New owners of the hot dog huts reinvested, and also for the sports meal. So, and we've got more coming. And so, just hats off to each one of these for investing in our city. They could have put their businesses anywhere, and we appreciate the investment that they do in our cities. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Last night I got to graduate from Police Academy. Thanks to the police officers and the leadership for taking us through a very exciting learning opportunity. So I learned a lot. Appreciate more what our police do, and firefighters and all the people who protect us day in, day out. Today I spent some time looking at the Progress Edition. I'm sure each of you have done that. And first, let me say thank you to Adrienne and her staff for putting this piece together. City manager and your staff for directing us through these things, and the rest of you, us who serve on this board, for the amount of things that were done in the city. Now, when I look at the 8 years of progress, this one is significant because there are over 24 items in here. 14 are very significant. When I say significant, things are already in motion, already done, like Main Street, the public library moving, strategic plan done, in the process of being done. Bays Mountain undergoes more work. Main Street near completion. Kingsport breaks ground on new Blue Cross Blue Shield Healthy Place. O'Neill Manufacturing Services to open in Kingsport. Academy Sports moves to the Pavilion. Fort Henry Mall expansion continues, and we will see Rural King here in a few weeks opening. Brickyard Village construction to start here in April. The related coach launches recruitment partnership with Kingsport. New recycling convenience center open on Industry Drive. Justice Center expansion underway. And we all love DB Dome opening up a few months ago. And we're working on the new elementary schools. And the thing that's significant about this, and I remember when I was working, when you have a good year, the penalty you pay is how you top that the next year. And I think that we're on our way with some more things that probably will exceed what we've already have seen done, more significant things. So I applaud all of us so we all can pat ourselves on the back, but also recognize the school system. The school system, we have 4A schools, 4B schools, and new schools on the way. So we have some significant things. And I know today is April Fool's Day, and that wasn't April Fool what I read. But it's a significant day for me in the fact that 40-some years ago, I became a father for the first time on April 1st. So today I say congratulations and happy birthday to my daughter, Kristen, who lives in Michigan. And by doing that, this means adjourn.
Good stuff. And Main Street was being paved today, and that is not April